I've done it. One of the biggest heists of our generation. The kind they're gonna be talking about for years. I've acquired some of the most expensive 2011s in existence for review. Gentlemen, we have arrived. Oh no, no, no.
You grabbed the wrong gun?
Shut up! Okay, I guess I'll review the cheapest double stack 1911 instead. People are divided on this gun. Now some people think it's a game changer, some think it's junk, but I had to find out for myself. And I have to figure out how I screwed up this heist. There's something to be said for our national obsession with 1911s. John Moses Browning's patent was issued on Valentine's Day, for God's sake. But we evolved. Modern calibers, higher capacity, yet we refuse to give up the classic 1911 feel. That's how we ended up with the double stack 1911s, or what Staccato calls 2011. However, most of these guns are stupid expensive, and average bros like us have wanted a cheaper double stack forever. As is tradition, Turkey said, "Hold my kebab," and presented to us the Tisas line of double stack 1911s. Manufactured in Turkey by Tisas and imported into the US by Tisas in Tennessee. I needed to know if this was a hidden gem or a complete disaster. What I found surprised me. This 9mm Tisas Duty double stack 1911 is just like most guns of this style, with a polymer grip module, forged 4140 carbon steel Cerakoted frame, and slide with a QPQ finish. The 5-inch barrel is 4140 steel, forged and machined with a 1-in-10 twist and hard chrome finish. The slide parts are mostly 70 series and use a bushing, unlike most of the top dollar versions with their bull barrels. Keeps it simple and less expensive overall. Important to note that there are no MIM or cast parts in this gun like there are in a lot of lower cost guns. Now I want to know, would you trust your life to an inexpensive double stack 1911? Leave a comment. The slide serrations are slightly shallow and close together, but sharp enough to let your fingers catch them. Being so close together, it leaves a bit to be desired, and you can definitely skim right over it if you grab too fast. That brings me to the texture on the frame. The front and back strap are great and grippy, but the side panels have an awful and useless texture. It's purely for looks over function. There is a slight magwell, and internal ramps guide the magazines in just fine, so reloads are good. The magazine release is not textured, is a little bit difficult to press in, and is not ambi. It's not the end of the world, but it could be better. The safety, on the other hand, is ambi with a standard textured paddle on the left and a smaller textured paddle on the right. The slide can be rattled left and right, and it's just not as clean of a fit and finish as it is on the higher dollar guns. Now, some of the main differences between this and guns that cost more are small things like this. They're just not as well manufactured. Takedown and maintenance, however, is identical to the average 1911.
Hey, did you check to make sure you got the right gun?
The minorly skeletonized trigger isn't as silky as some 2011s I've tried, but it's not bad. It's a hybrid, curved at the top and bottom and straight in the middle. It has a 4 3/4 pound pull weight, but keep in mind this is a duty style gun, and that's about what they are. The pre-travel is standard with a bit of take-up, a crisp brake, and minimal over-travel. It's not as good as higher end 2011s, but it's better than almost all the striker-fired guns. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. I don't make the rules. The sights are metal, pretty basic, but functional, you know, like a good getaway car. Doesn't need to be fancy, just needs to work. They're drift adjustable with a white dot front and a blacked out rear with anti-glare serration. The red dot cut is for the Holosun 507K/RMSC, and it's cut low enough that the standard sights will co-witness with your dot in the lower third. No suppressor height sights required, and no stupid optics plates are necessary, which is pretty badass. The gun was as accurate as it needed to be. I took it out to 80 yards and hit my steel, and inside defensive distances it did its job. I used a ton of different ammunition from FMJ to hollow point, and they all functioned and fed fine. This gun shouldn't shoot this well for the price. It shoots really nice. It's a big, heavy gun, so recoil is easily manageable. 2 pounds unloaded, 8.5 inches long and 5 3/4 inches tall, and 1.5 inches wide. Now there is something special about shooting the double stack 1911s. They just feel great, don't they? Yeah, they do. The gun was reasonably reliable, and for a while I thought my biggest mistake was picking the wrong gun out of the safe. And then this happened. By the way, if I've earned it, please like and subscribe. Subscribe, it's really important. And also ring that bell. Okay, bye. Out of right under 1,000 rounds, I had 2 stovepipe failures, both captured on camera. Biggest deal ever? you know, that's for you to decide. It comes with 2 standard 17-round Checkmate magazines and works with all the 2011 style magazines that I have, including the extended Staccato mags. The mags retail for around $50 each, so, you know, ouch. Since it has a full-size rail in the frame, I added an Enforce Wild 2 metal light and a Gideon Optics Judge red dot on the slide. One great thing to note is it fit in all my existing 2011 holsters. The warranty is through SDS Arms, and they might be the manufacturer. There's a lot of stuff and names on the website, but it's 1 year from original retail purchase for defects in part, performance, or workmanship. It's a punt. And overall, pretty weak warranty. But when you're half the price of your closest competitor, there are some areas that are going to get cut. Speaking of price, I got this on sale for $600. It retails for $799, and you can generally find it for $700. That is insane in this class of guns, which has both come down in price but also simultaneously skyrocketed for the rich boys. I'd say its biggest competitor is probably the Springfield Prodigy, which is almost double its price.
Dude, you got it?
Of course I have it. Why do you guys always doubt me? Here, look. Hold on. I don't know, but it should be. God.
Hey, wait, where are you going? You didn't shell us. Hey.
Now, I have multiple Staccatos. That's not a flex, but it is. Peasants. Which I really like, and I shoot a lot. I also understand that they're out of most folks' budget. So here is the big question. Is it worth it? I think that having a low-cost alternative is really, really important, but they have to be able to perform. So is the Tisas double stack on par? No, of course not. But it does scratch that itch if that's what you can afford. I see no reason not to buy these. In fact, pick up 3. There's several models available, and honestly, can't beat them. Now, let's break it down. The pros. Price. This is the cheapest double stack 1911 that I've seen, and it shoots way above its pay grade. Mag compatibility. I have a bunch of Staccato magazines, so sticking with the standard is great. Direct optic mounting. Mounting low enough to cope in this with standard sights and not using plates is great. Now, since the slide is thin, RMSC limits our options, but there's plenty of choices out there now that fit that cut. And look, it looks great overall. Very iconic and doesn't look or feel cheap, except for the cons. The barrel. It's a nice blacked out gun with a silver barrel. This is purely aesthetic, and maybe I'm a snob, but come on, let's black it out, bruh. Mag prices are pretty expensive, and let's add a third in the box. And finally, 2 failures. Maybe it's break-in, but 2 out of 1,000 is higher than I've been seeing lately on most of the modern guns I've reviewed. It's a 0.2% failure, and that is pretty small, but for a gun that claims duty use, and overall usability, so many great things, but some real missed opportunities like the grip texture, the mag release, the slide serrations, and other stuff that I mentioned earlier. I had a prediction going in, and I'm glad that I was wrong. So where does the Tisas 1911 duty double stack land? Well, if you're expecting Staccato level refinement, you're not gonna get it. But for the price, this thing is punching way above its weight class. It's accurate, reliable, and compatible with standard 2011 parts and accessories. A few minor gripes aside, it's one of the best values in the double stack 1911 game right now. And now that you've seen my budget double stack 1911 review, you should go watch my Staccato review right here.